It's a beautiful day, Machen, coming to you from my office in sunny South Texas. I'm recording this for the Growth and Marketing Podcast. So if this is our first time meeting, this is your first time hearing me, I would love for you to drop a comment if you're catching this live, and I can reach out and get to learn more about you. And if you're actually catching this on the podcast, I'm so excited to have you participating in this and giving feedback. There's a link in the description for things that we go over that are visual, things like the whiteboard. There'll be a link in the description once the video is over and once the podcast is uploaded. And with that being said, lots of love, guys. Let's kick today off with some positive energy. I really was thinking of that one thing, the purpose, the reason for being. What is it that gets us really moving? And what life was like before and what was like after. And I thought of this story. I'll share the story, and I'm going to do a whiteboard little exercise with you. If you want to hang out or save this, bookmark it to do later, that's fine. But here's the deal. I was thinking the story of this, like, I don't even know where it comes from. Again, I need to get better at writing down, the quotes or where stories come from. But the story goes like this. There's a wise old man that everyone comes to in town for advice and really comes to seek information and wisdom from. And a dad goes to the wise man and gets a story as his son is growing older. I'm a father. And so I kind of relate with this going, okay, how do I give my children the skills that they're going to need? And so this father asks the same question, goes back to give his son a mission. And he puts his son on this mission. And as his son goes out and travels on this mission to find this treasure that's across some far distant land, it's over an edge of a waterfall, down at the bottom of a cliff, across a precarious journey, a chasm, and all these things that are going to interrupt the flow of that journey. And in disparity, the young man heads out from home and takes off towards this goal, towards this destination, towards this treasure. And he's fighting his way through, the dungeons and the demons that come facing us. And he's fighting his way through the woods and over the hills and across the valleys and all this and all the obstacles that are facing him. And he gets to the location and there's nothing there. He's really trying to outrun anyone that may beat him to the treasure. And he realizes maybe someone beat me to the treasure, perhaps, and heads back home. Well, the journey home takes years. And along this journey home, as he's taking his time getting home, he sees miracles and sees people that are amazing at what they do. And he learns new skills and kind of identifies what the world really needs and his perception. And so he comes back home to his father and says, I'm sorry I failed you. I really let you down. And the father looks at the son and says, well, tell me about your journey. Tell me what happened. And the son says, well, this is what happened, what I basically told you. And the father says, well, did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy that journey? And the kid says, yeah, I loved it. On the way home, I witnessed all those miracles. I saw these things and I found things that I love and that I'm good at doing. And I really have an idea of what I'm going to do in the world. And the father said, well, that's really the treasure that I sent you out for. As I learned what I missed out in my life, I wanted to give you the skills to go build that in your life. So, I love that story. And I heard that story a long time ago before I had a system that really gave me that reason for being. So today I want to share with you that reason for being. It's a little exercise that's kind of fun. It's going to be a couple diagrams. So this is something visual. If you have a pen and paper or something like that, that's great. Go ahead and write it down. I'm going to give you this whiteboard. I'm going to do my best to make it something legible. But essentially, we want to draw 4 circles. These circles are going to overlap. I was going to do this all in color, but I don't think that's going to be a good idea because we can't see it, what I'm currently doing. Okay, so the first circle I'm going to draw is going to be identifying things in my mind that I think the world needs. What I do is I take these circles and then write inside of them. And this is something that's been adapted from there's a word for it in Japanese, but I can't say it. I can't pronounce it. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And the idea, it translates into a reason for being. So this is not something that I necessarily came up with. This is actually just an ancient philosophy, perhaps, at least an Eastern philosophy. So anyhow, what the world needs is going to be one of these circles. Now we're going to draw our next overlapping circle and draw. We have a problem. Oh, well, my text on Instagram's backwards, but anyhow. What the world needs is our first circle, and what we're good at is going to be that second circle. Now, I want to draw a third circle, and this third circle is going to be things that we can get paid to do. And now a fourth circle, kind of in a northeast southwest layout of things that we love. And so as we look at this, there's a lot of overlapping in these circles. And I want to identify exactly what happens inside those overlaps, because it was so interesting to me to see it as an exercise. If you can do this, it'll take maybe 5 minutes of your day to write inside what the world needs in your view, what you can get paid to do, what you're good at, and what you love to do. You'll begin to identify things like what you're good at and what you love. Where they intersect is a passion. And when you're good at something and you can get paid to do it, it's a profession. And when the world needs something and you can get paid to do it, that's a vocation. What is really neat is you can identify a mission, which we're all told to find our mission, when we find something we love and the world needs it. That's the overlap. As we write these things down, the thing that we want to explore, I can't spell today, the thing we want to explore is those really deep intersections of passion and mission. These things bring us delight. Sometimes the problem with delight is we receive fulfillment, which is excellent. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's hard to make a living that way. I keep a sticky note that says, you want to volunteer your time? You can't if you're broke. I've had it since 2015 when I first wrote it down. I was trying to volunteer more time and do more things in the community, but I wasn't doing well in my business. And so I just had to go, okay, we'll focus on how the business can help it. And so I was able to find what my mission was and align that with things like my profession. So when you start to have overline with like mission, vocation, there's a lot of excitement. Like, hey, I work at this and it's good at my mission. It's big with my mission. But if we just go with what we're good at, and what we can get paid to do and what the world needs, we can get put in a place where there's a little uncertainty. It's usually in roles of volunteering, like I was saying. It's really in getting out there and getting in a role that maybe underpays us, or it's hard to find a true path forward because we're maybe not that passionate about what we're doing, or worse, we're not that good at it, and so we spend a lot of time in a place that doesn't really feed our energy. So anyhow, the overlap of the vocation and the overlap of the mission is excitement. When we look at, sorry for the long silence, when we look at things like our passion and what we're able to get paid to do, like our passion and our profession, this overlap can give us some satisfaction. But there's a drawback to just having satisfaction without the excitement, or satisfaction without the delight. We look to kind of move back to that circle, because if we're only doing something we're passionate about and something we're good at, and therefore we're a professional at it, we might make a living, we might make an income, we might do something we kind of have some fun for, but maybe it's not what the world really needs, right? And so that's the one concern that I had. I was really good at computers and technology and all this, and I had a great job, and I was moving up the ranks, and didn't really feel like I was making the impact in the world that I really could by just getting out there and doing it in a way that I really wrote the rules, in a way of freedom, I think. All right, so we've identified our delight, our excitement, and our satisfaction. And then there's another one, which is comfort. Our comfort zone is a really dangerous one. And so that's the reason I introduced this exercise today. A lot of the time we can be excited about something, we can be satisfied for it, satisfied in the business that we're in. But that long period, maybe a career, I spent 10 years in a corporate career, can amplify those things like uselessness or lack of fulfillment towards a change in the world, and lead to a feeling of emptiness. And I think that that's really plaguing young professionals, all the way to our adults that are kids are out of the home and they're looking for a second retirement income so that they can live a lifestyle that they've been looking forward to, that they planned for, but maybe weren't able to reach due to whatever circumstance there is. And sometimes that might be that feelings overwhelm us from reaching out and stepping into the fear or whatever it is that keeps us. I think it's said that sometimes it's a fear of getting something we don't want that keeps us from moving forward, like feedback or a failure or a tick mark that says that it didn't all work out the way that you planned, or whatever it might be. I would love for you to write down what you're good at, what you love, what the world needs, and what you can get paid to do. Where those things all overline, you will move towards a reason for being. I just drew a star right here in the middle. All right, so that's it. If this brought you value, if you found this interesting, please drop some comment down there on the lives on social media. If you're catching this on the podcast, feel free to hop on Instagram or Facebook and screenshot what you see right now, pop it into your stories and tag me. We can have a conversation. I would love to learn more about you and your big dream. Lots of love, guys. That's it for today. I'm going to get outside, hang out with the kids a little. See you at the top or to the left of decimal for all of our crypto lovers out there.